Hey guys, Brian Furlong with Elite Baseball Performance. Just here to quickly discuss Elite Baseball's training systems. We've got private and group instruction, team training, camps and clinics, classes, youth development, development leagues, experience trips, and digital analysis services. Private and group instruction, 1-to-1, 1-to-5 coach to player ratio, generally 30 to 60 minutes. In duration, typically we like to do 30 minutes per skill. We generally do not split up 30-minute sessions unless it's with a real young child. This is essentially deliberate practice with an expert instructor. Most people will do this 1 to 3 times per week. It's most effective if it's supplemented with additional repetition on your own or with a team. Team training, 8 to 10 players, 1 to 2 instructors. These are efficient, effective team workouts. They're specifically designed to address team needs. So if you wanted to do something, to focus on all skills or focus primarily on hitting or pitching, we can basically design them specifically for what you're looking for. This helps in building a team bond and cohesiveness, just kind of going through the training aspect and the learning process together. It really helps. Kind of teams gel. We also do team evaluations and assessments, digital analysis, and then also equipment advisory. Camps and clinics do ball player skills camps. This is essentially all skills that occur on a baseball field. Skill-specific camps, so developing better bat speed, velocity, also just working on hitting skills, pitching skills, and then defensive camps. Digital analysis camps, great way to kind of go through the process of actually going through an evaluation type camp, but then also come home with a little analysis or a little video with a voiceover, kind of looking at the different movements either within your delivery or your swing. Evaluation camps, this is a great thing to do, either before or after the season to kind of get a feel for where you're at, understand what you need to focus on. Father-son camps are something that, we're really interested in doing a lot more of. It's a great way to, number one, facilitate a bond between a father and son, but it's also a good way to, help dads and coaches learn more about what they should be looking at. For us, we obviously see players in more of a controlled setting, during lessons inside. But the dads and the coaches are the ones that are out there at all the games, and so they see the game swings, the game deliveries, and any time that we can get better information in the hands of the people who are actually out there on the front lines, the better off we're going to be. Prep camps, we do prep camps before tryouts, tournaments, just different events. A lot of times people will actually go through a prep camp to prepare for, like an evaluation type college camp, something like that. So those have been very popular in the past, and we'll continue to run them at the proper times throughout the year. Classes. So the classes are generally 4 to 6 hour long sessions, either monthly or 6 week sessions. We do position-specific classes for pitching, catching, infield, then also skill-specific classes for bat speed, velocity, command pitching, do line drive hitting and mental skills. So with each of these classes, a curriculum is specifically designed with a proper skill progression and effective learning methodology. Essentially, this is like what we would do for a camp, only it's spread out over a longer period of time to really help lock that skill in. Youth Dev, these are our youth camps for players ages 3 to 7. In that 3 to 5 age, most players are kind of in discovery mode where they're out there kind of just soaking everything in, going through the process, enjoying the experience. At 6 to 7, there's a little bit more development going on, and you're trying to teach and get them ready for organized baseball, whether it's T-ball at 7 or USSSA at 8 or wherever they're planning on going. But regardless, it's it's an opportunity to get your players in an energetic, exciting, positive environment, help them learn some of the fundamentals of the game. We have a comprehensive curriculum, obviously trying to expose them to all aspects of of baseball. So you do some hitting and base running, fielding, throwing. Sliding mat is one of the most um, popular stations with these types of camps. And then we also let them play a little game at the end to kind of, let them feel the excitement of enjoying the game. Development leagues, these are designed to facilitate deliberate play. Some examples would be backyard baseball, indoor stickball. These are generally preseason or off-season leagues to kind of just help get more game reps for players. Obviously it's a good time, great opportunity to get on the field in an instructive environment. But for us as instructors, it's an opportunity, to actually get out there and do some coaching and teaching of the game rather than just teaching of skills, which is primarily what occurs in lessons, at our facility. So development leagues, great opportunity to kind of stay in the swing of things during the off season. Experience trips. This is something that we've been working on for probably about 6 months. Weren't quite able to pull it together for this year, but the general premise behind it is going and attending professional and college sporting events, training with our professional instructors, and then learning from the events and actually holding classroom sessions and kind of pulling it all together. So creating an all-inclusive experience where you go out, you watch the big guys play, you work out on your own, you get together, you talk a little bit about what went on during the actual event. These are the experience trips are actually inspired by trips to spring training I took when I was a kid. From when I was about I'd say probably 11 until I was 18. It was every single spring break was spent at spring training either in Arizona or Florida. And it's really where I fell in love with, the process of being a baseball player. It was where, in spring training, the environment is such that you're closer to the action. You're seeing things that you don't typically see during the season. You're just right there with the players. They're so much more accessible, and it's a great environment. It really helps build passion and understanding for not just what occurs on the field, but what goes into the preparation for getting yourself ready for a baseball season. So it was such a big thing in my life. I wanted to share it with others. And so, spring training is obviously one of the targets, but, also just going to a big league or minor league game, taking a trip to the College World Series. Another experience that's kind of similar to spring training is the Arizona Fall League, which is down in like the Scottsdale area during October and November. Another environment where you're like right up there with the players. These are some of the top prospects in the minor leagues, and typically they're going to be stars in the big leagues shortly. So it's a good opportunity to get down and get right in there and see see the process. So that's something we're going to work on getting together here later this summer, and we'll have more information about the experience trips. I think they're going to be quite beneficial for anyone who takes part. Digital motion analysis, DMA camps, and then we also do lesson DMA add-on. This is video analysis using high-speed capture, so it's slow motion footage. It's shot at 240 frames per second, so that's about 8 times slower than a typical camcorder. We do a voiceover of a slow motion analysis. So what this does is it gives the player kind of a visual image to connect with what they feel. So in baseball, you're either focused on the baseball or you're focused on a target when you're pitching. And so you don't have a visual image of what's going on through your body. And so you have to go off of feel. You have to go off of, kinesthetics a lot. And this gives you an opportunity to kind of bridge that gap and make a connection between what you're feeling, what you're seeing in the video, and then the feedback that you get. So I constantly tell people during instruction that the ball won't lie to you. If you're throwing the baseball and it's sailing arm side up and away, there's something going on in your delivery. Or if you're swinging and you're popping it up off the ceiling every single time, there's something going on in your swing that's causing that. And so this helps people understand, what exactly is happening in their body, what they're feeling, and what that feedback means. The other part of digital motion analysis, which isn't quite here yet, but 3D motion analysis, and this is hopefully coming later this year, possibly next year. But this is kind of where things are moving in the sports instruction world. 3D motion analysis has been used for years, mostly in research settings and labs. The technology until now has been extremely expensive. Kind of the same way with like the high speed video that only just became uh, available to typical consumers in the last couple of years. So that's relatively new and cutting edge. 3D motion analysis is still prices out most private consumers, but it's becoming uh, more and more affordable and also more and more consumable. And I think as it gets closer to being something that just your average consumer can use, I think that it'll also people will find ways to utilize it to enhance player development, that sort of thing. So that's something that I'm personally learning about right now and hope to bring to the people in the area or to the players in the area within the next year. So keep an eye out for that. Quick summary of the training systems that we use. You got private and group instruction, you got team training, camps and clinics, which are single day, 2-day camps. These are also, where we'll bring in, professional guys when they're in town. So like this last year, Ben Zobrist and Tom Gorzalani both did camps. And we'll hope to add to that list and hopefully bring in more and more names as we continue. Classes, this is generally going to be 4 to 6 hour long sessions, so like a month to a month and a half, depending on what you're working on. Typically going to be skill specific, real tight curriculum with a good progression all the way through. So this is, kind of the information blast that you would get in a camp or a clinic, and it's kind of spread out over a longer period of time to really lock the skill in, really develop the skill. And so classes are a great way to to really emphasize one specific aspect of your game. Youth development, these are going to be the camps, classes, and clinics that we run for players ages 3 to 7, kind of those players who aren't quite in organized baseball yet, but would like exposure. Development leagues, essentially that's deliberate play, depending on the setting, whether it's indoor stickball, backyard baseball, whatever. Experience trips. This is something that like I mentioned just a second ago, we've been working on for the last 6 months. Hope to bring it soon. Hope to bring it this summer. But giving people the opportunity to enjoy and learn at professional events. Digital analysis, just went over that too. High-speed video analysis with the voiceover, hopefully 3D coming soon, 3D motion analysis. If you guys have interest in, checking out more information about Elite Baseball Performance, you can find us on Twitter at Elite Baseball US, Facebook.com/Elite Baseball Performance, and then more videos like this one on YouTube at YouTube.com/Elite Baseball USA. So thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you soon.